This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
The following is a Red Apple Podcast Network presentation.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it.
Welcome to Dominic Carter's podcast. This is Dominic Carter's City Hall. Now, here's Dominic Carter.
Red Apple Podcast, Talk Radio 77 WABC. You can listen to me, Dominic Carter, Monday through Friday, midnight to 1 a.m. Publicly, he's stating the right things, that he's ready to work arm in arm with the NYPD, willing to work with housing developers in Harlem, unlike the last council member for the district, a socialist who single-handedly shut down an entire major development that would have helped constituents with affordable housing. Dare I say, Yesuf Salaam may prove to be a breath of moderate, fresh air with the New York City Council. This is my podcast. Let's go. Yesuf Salaam is not a typical candidate for public office. He's one of the exonerated defendants in the infamous Central Park Jogger rape case, and he blew away his primary election competition. Manhattan Democratic Party chairman and Harlem resident Keith Wright endorsed Salaam, while New York City Mayor Eric Adams and much of the Harlem establishment backed Assemblywoman Inez Dickens, who represented the district and the city council before. But Salaam won by a 2-1 margin in a three-way race. Salaam did an interview with WPIX television, Channel 11, and he's right when he says Harlem has spoken.
Harlem has spoken. And the best thing about it is that, we've been looking at really divestment in our community for so long. The fact that we needed services that have saluted us, as I walked around my community, you could hear the wants from people. You could tell that people were in pain. You could tell that this was something different. The fact that I came out of a private side of life, after having been found innocent of these crimes that I didn't commit. And now I'm back using my platform to do something really important, which is help our people.
And Salaam is sounding like a breath of fresh air compared with all the pandering to the far left that goes on with the New York City Council. And in the interview with WPIX TV Channel 11, Salaam talked in detail about working with the NYPD. Bravo.
Yeah, well, given your past experience with the NYPD, as many know you're one of the exonerated 5, some people may be a little bit surprised to learn that you support law enforcement. So right now there is a new interim NYPD commissioner. So what steps are you planning to take to improve community policing? What will be your relationship with the police department?
I've always said we need righteous actors at all levels of government. The great thing about it is that I've met so many great police officers, and I had a really, really interesting story. Some years back, I met a young lady who was about 13, told me that she wanted to become a cop, that she was a cadet. And she asked me, what advice can I give her? And I told her about my travels, that all throughout the United States, we see on the side of cop cars the words to serve and protect, that in New York City, they go a step above and beyond and add the words courtesy, professionalism, and respect. And by the time we finished, I said, if you can be the kind of officer that is a guardian for society, that is there to serve and protect, you're the type of officer that we need. Police officers are supposed to be here to keep us safe. And the fact that we have righteous actors in that office is a really, really beautiful thing. The unfortunate part is that we keep getting the light shined on the unrighteous actors. So we're talking about smarter policing as opposed to over-policing. We're talking about utilizing the best of our services for all of us and not just some of us. And the beautiful thing about it is that as a person who's been run over by the spike wheels of justice, who looks at this really from the inside out as opposed to the outside in, I really have a different perspective, a more unique perspective of what we really need.
Again, keep in mind that Yesuf Salaam is one of the exonerated defendants in the infamous Central Park Jogger rape case. Now, here is what is also refreshing as it relates to his platform. On education, Salaam backs parent choice and charter schools, bucking many fellow Democrats aligned with the anti-charter teachers union.
But what's the secret sauce then, right? Because I feel like affordable housing is what everybody wants to tackle. Everybody talks about it, but there seems to be this difficulty in getting it done. So what's the secret?
The secret is speaking to our community's concerns. And what that means is that affordable housing, as it's been discussed, has been talking about AMI, and AMI could fluctuate. It can turn from here to there. But if we specifically say, look, we targeted housing. Income target is very specific. People in our community that are making $30,000 and less, maybe sometimes $15,000, and that might be the cap. And so if we have income targeted housing for families, they get the opportunity to plan in safety, to think about their futures without worrying about whether they're going to have an eviction notice on their door or whether they can, provide food for their families.
And just real quickly, you had just mentioned education. Unlike a lot of your fellow Democrats, you actually support charter schools. So do you think that charter schools will benefit Harlem?
I support a parent's right to choose whatever, any type of education that they want for their child. And I think that that's the part that's most important. Where I don't support is that we're talking about co-location, and a lot of the schools that have co-location, they're really pulling out the financial resources from the public schools that they may be housed in. And so charter schools benefit, but at the same time, the detriment is that they're pulling services from the public schools that are desperately needed. And of course, we need education for our children, and we need world-class education.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, how to get 30, how to get 20, 20, 20, how to get 20, 20, how to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
How does PwC take your company to the leading edge? They bring the sharpest minds in tech to your team, so you can bring the ideas that will transform your business. They're passionate about your industry, so you can walk into any room with every advantage. And they're with you every step of the way, so you can know you're headed in the right direction. PwC builds for what's next, so you can get there now. Get started at pwc.com/us/leading edge.
Yesuf Salaam, who recently won the Democratic primary for Harlem City Council seat, talking to WPIX-TV, Channel 11. This bears repeating, that he says he's ready to work arm in arm with the NYPD, that he's willing to work with housing developers in Harlem, unlike the last council member for the district, socialist Kirsten Richardson Jordan, who single-handedly shut down a major development that would have helped constituents with affordable housing. Salaam continued on WPIX-TV.
I mean, the biggest priority that we need in our community is, of course, affordable housing. Yeah. The challenge is making sure that we can build affordable housing. It costs money to do that. And so therefore, we need to incentivize developers so that they can come in to do exactly what it is that we need. But at the same time, a benefits agreement, that community benefits agreement allows for to understand exactly where our needs fit and where they can come in and help. Now, of course, we need the best education. I mean, there's been budget cuts. Mm-hmm. We need to find the money to make sure that we can pour back into our public school systems. I feel like the public housing thing, or the housing thing, is really, really at the top because, as you know, we've had an influx of migrants, and we've been able to solve for that, but we have not yet been able to solve for our homeless population.
Wow, Yesuf Salaam on WPIX TV. And when it's all said and done, Salaam might prove to be quite a refreshing voice for Harlem with mainstream views to benefit the community. He also may have quite the political career ahead of him. And that is all the time we have for this episode. Thank you, folks, for joining us. If you are interested in my remarkable book on my life titled No Mama's Boy, or even the Dominic Carter bobblehead doll, go to my website, all one word, DominicCarterOnline.com. DominicCarterOnline.com. You can catch me on 77 WABC weeknights, midnight to 1 a.m. Go check out the Dominic Carter merchandise at the 77 WABC store, from Dominic Carter t-shirts to hats and much more. Go to WABCRadiostore.com. Also, follow me on YouTube, where you will see videos from me about this podcast and the radio show. YouTube.com/Dominic Carter. YouTube.com/Dominic Carter. We will see you the next time. Dominic Carter, Red Apple Podcast, Talk Radio 77, WABC.
I gotta make it.
Dominic Carter socials on Twitter at Dominic TV and Facebook and Instagram. Dominic Carter TV. Email at dominic.carter@wabcradio.com. Until the next episode, be well. And as Dominic always says, stay positive. The glass is always half full, never half empty. Dominic Carter City Hall.